Let's talk a little bit with someone who is down there right now and representing Minnesota. Representative Rick Hansen is a friend of the show, and my God, everyone needs to get out and help him. Make sure we keep sending him back to St. Paul. 53B, South St. Paul, Newport, South St. Paul Park, Northern Inver Grove Heights, Southern Cottage Grove, and Great Cloud Island. He is currently, though, in Chicago as part of the Minnesota delegation out there. He's kind enough to join us to give us a little bit of a laydown of how things are going and preview Governor Walz, his speech tonight. Hi, Representative. How are we, my friend?
I am great.
Were you down in the Minnesota delegation? John Randall, the Prince song with the two senators. Were you down in there last night?
I was actually up in the rafters. I'm on the Rules Committee that Governor Walz chaired, and so that badge gets me up a little higher in the altitudes at the arena. So but the energy is just electric here. Everybody, packed to the gills. That people just keep coming in, and they're sitting on the stairs. Secret Service comes in, says you got to move. 5 minutes later, more people come in, and everybody is just excited. You meet people from all over the country, and just this collective experience that we're having, whether you're right in front or whether you're in the top seat up in the rafters, everybody is excited and ready to work.
Now, is it a fair assessment when I said, because it did. Last night, I'm watching it on TV, and I just sort of said, okay, this isn't a political convention. And don't get me wrong, political conventions, especially if you're like a wonk like myself, they're a lot of fun. But this changed, and it became an event. Is that how it felt for you as you're sitting there watching things unfold last night?
Well, there's yes, and it's also this thing of like we are being part of history.
Yeah,
it's that it's not just the excitement, but the responsibility of we're here. We almost have to come back home and spread this good news that we have, that we've experienced. My phone, like yours, was lighting up. People saying, "Bring me back a sign." So after it was over, I was going through the seat and picking up signs to bring back home, and picking up buttons, and just throughout the arena to help share this experience, because sharing that experience, I think, helps us win in November.
If you do have an extra one, I wouldn't mind one either. I know you're already probably over limit on your. Or did you take the train down, or you took a plane down?
I took the train, so
nice.
I got plenty of room.
Nice.
I'll grab you some more tonight.
Thank you. That would be fantastic if you could. So far, obviously, I want to let's talk a little bit about not the primetime stuff. How is the daytime stuff? Obviously, lots of meetings, lots of round tables, lots of discussions, lots of hey, let's get out the vote stuff. How has been the daytime events been for you?
Well, we start off in the morning at 7:30 sharp with a series of speakers. So this morning it was Secretary Buttigieg and then Secretary Holland. And Senator Warnock. It's just those morning breakfast meetings, and we get our credentials. Security is really important. So each morning we get a new badge to let us in. But when we're sitting there and you just have this very close access to these very important and powerful people who are just like us, representing us, it is really a way to start the morning. And you leave that meeting, and then at McCormick Place, there are a series of caucuses and trainings that are going on, and that happens during the day. Plus, there's other meetings that are going on through the day. And then, you come back. We had some struggles originally with the bus system. That's been worked out, so the arena's filling up right now. People kind of get on the bus about 3 o'clock at the hotel and ride in. And every ride you come in on, you meet new people. So I just talked to a legislator from South Dakota who's sitting next to me on the bus. There's somebody from Wisconsin that was in the line with me. It's just this community that's being built of shared experience. Everybody's smiling, everybody's happy, and everybody's going to bring that joy home.
Yeah. The first night, the Biden night. Talk a little bit about that. What resonated with you and your thoughts on the Biden speech as well?
I thought, I when I was a college student a long time ago, I supported Joe Biden for president back in 1987.
Yeah,
and it's a very poignant moment. And the work that he has done and the accomplishments, I think somebody said it best last night. He has been the most progressive and accomplished president since FDR in terms of getting an agenda passed that helps people. And so it's poignant, I guess is the best word. It's this, here's a great man who put the country before his ambition and stepped back and endorsed Kamala Harris for president. And there are these rare moments in history where we are living through this.
Yeah.
And for him to give that, the valedictory speech at this last convention as he's president, I mean, it just is, your heart kind of jumps in that. And leading up to that, all the speakers coming into last night where you see this tremendous energy of diversity in the roll call of states, every state bringing that, music to fit each state, energy from each state, a little bit of the character of each state coming together as a country. Yeah. And, I think Joe Biden has been a great president, and, his legacy is he has provided a foundation, a foundation for what's to move on.
Well, and it's interesting because it's hard sometimes for us to see, as you said, we're living through this. But when you step back, how he's going to be perceived is he was the guy that came in after the incredibly incompetent guy before him during a pandemic, saved the country, got major legislation passed, and then, as you said, did the selfless act of he came in to save us from the horribleness that was Donald Trump, and then he handed the reins over to Kamala Harris. And I think that as you look at the history as it will play out, I honestly do feel as well that, he is going to shine so brightly as one of the presidents that we always need to remember because of what he did in that 1 4-year window in our country's history where he saved the country.
Well, in this issue of how we come together, empathy and sacrifice, I think, will beat selfishness any day.
Yep.
And that is the way to govern, is with empathy. Empathy for the folks we represent and how we can make our world and our country better. Monday started off right. Last night, that roll call of states, and then the Obamas, just amazing. And tonight we hear from our governor stepping on this world stage that I'm looking at right now. It's just going to be an amazing thing. The Teacher of the Year from 2019 is going to be doing the national anthem tonight. I don't know if you saw that. She was a South St. Paul teacher.
Hey!
Teacher of the Year. So Jess Davis is going to be singing the national anthem. We all have, we're all interconnected. I mean, there's so many times here where talking to somebody in another state, people are like, well, I got this connection with Minnesota, or do you know somebody? And it's putting these threads together that really build, it's just sewing all together when you come and have people from all over the country here with happiness and joy and working together. It's just an amazing experience, and I hope I'm able, when I'm talking to you, to kind of share that energy because I think we're going to need it. President Obama last night said it is going to be tough. They're going to throw everything, and the kitchen sink, not only at the ticket, but also all of us on the ballot. Yeah. That's what they do. They tear down. We have to make sure when we fight, we win.
Well, and a very different message than when Michelle Obama was saying, when they go low, we go high. It was, no, you don't understand. This is a very different opposition than we've had in the past, and that and I pointed out multiple times, Donald Trump got more votes in 2020 than he did in 2016. Everyone has to get on out. Every door has to get knocked. Every home has to be called. We need to make sure everyone gets to the polls. And that was that message. And I can't tell you how much I appreciated the Obamas coming on out there and making that very stark message, is that do not think this is over. We have 2 months to save this country. By God, let's go do it. And I thought that's how it came across, at least on the television. Yep,
clear message. Senator Duckworth from Illinois was just blunt and perfect as well. I mean, that was just, so we have to, sometimes as politicians, we get cut up in gobbledygook talk and, and jargon and all that, but this was such direct, clear language that will be helpful for helping make this message and making us win that election.
I get asked a lot, Representative, because trust me, my dance card's been full. I've been talking to radio stations across the country over the last few weeks about our governor, and people will ask me the question of, is this who he's always been? And he has. I mean, you go back to the image he took with those kids after he signed the free school lunch bill into law. I mean, that is just, he's this exuberant person that wants he wants to help people. He's got a bigger stage. He can allow and I think Kamala Harris has said, let your exuberance out. This Governor Walz is Governor Walz. This is who he has been. And I think it's just been great. I'm glad he's getting this national moment.
Well, I was in line to go through security, and there was a woman from Wisconsin, and she goes, how do you feel about losing your governor? And I said, well, we're sharing him with the country.
Yeah,
you're gonna see, and we are seeing, and that's why there's just a genuine response to his background, his story, his ability, his skills, his knowledge. People react to it, and again, you're probably hearing from people all over the country, friends and family and neighbors, of people you went to college with or people you met anywhere else, and they're like, can you tell me about him? And is what you see what you get? And the answer is yes. So it is great to be ambassadors for Governor Walz and for our state. Everybody, you meet people and they're like, where are you from? In Minnesota. And they smile and they go, oh my, I love your governor. So I think it's an asset to the ticket, and it's going to help us win in November.
And we should also mention Peggy Flanagan is a sensational. She's going to be a sensational governor too. I have zero doubt she will be my governor coming up here before too much longer. And I mean, we are blessed. I mean, and I'm going to say, and Representative, I know you're not a big fan of me doing this sort of thing, but we got guys like you. I mean, we have people who are out there. This is Minnesota politics. We're here to help people. We're not here to basically grind axes. We're here to basically make people's lives better. And we have a plethora of politicians right now on the DFL side in Minnesota. So, yeah, why not? Let's share a little bit of what we've got here.
And that's kind of what I'm doing while I'm here. I'm handing out pollinator stickers to people when I meet them. So it's not quite vote. There's plenty of buttons for voting for the ticket. I'm helping the bees out a little bit while I'm here too. So everybody is going to be helping out and working together. And we've got legislators, both House and Senate members here, and it's a team. And that's the other part. I did an interview yesterday with Polish radio, and it was. I just was standing in the hallway, and somebody came up and said, we're from Polish radio. Would you like to talk to us? And I'm like, sure. And I was talking about teamwork. And, from the electoral side, having Governor Walz on the ticket, I think, adds to our electoral success in the Minnesota House of Representatives. And I think even the congressional seats that we can strengthen our support in those congressional seats in Minnesota. But not only with the electoral side of winning, but governing. So having a team, I mean, just think of the federal money you could match on infrastructure, on tree planting, the initiatives. The states, Brandeis has said the states are laboratories for democracy, and we have been a working lab for the last 2 years, making innovative policy that the governor can bring to the federal level. I mean, if I look just specifically on the environment, look at PFAS, the work we've done. Look at chronic wasting disease. Has that ever been talked about at the federal level? All of the pollinators, all of these things that we've worked on, together, I think now can be kind of launched federally. And that's because the teamwork on a precinct by precinct level, working to win, and then working with governing to make sure that we do better things, good things for the people that we represent. And I just, it's such a hopeful, optimistic moment we are in. I hope it continues. And we know, like the Obama said, it's going to be work. So time to get working.
Well, and it's interesting because with my show now getting carried down in Chicago, I was down there a little earlier this year. And, one of the things that's fun is that Chicago's got that Midwest practicality, which you cannot deny. And when you were out there and you were saying you're on Michigan Avenue handing out pollinator stuff, I'm going to say, I'm going to bet you're getting pretty good. You're resonating because, when I was there, I mean, that's the kind of stuff, they get that stuff. And, it's the little things, but it's also the common sense, practical things. I got to imagine when you're out there talking about some of these issues that you're passionate about, that you're actually getting some pretty good response from the folks in Chicago.
Oh, it's great. Not only in Chicago, but meeting with like South Dakota delegation, Ohio, everybody on the bus, everybody I see meets, hand them a sticker, with the Rusty Patch Bumblebee on it. And they're like, hey, I could do that in my state.
Yes.
I meet a mayor or a city councilor in another state. Hey, I could do that in my city. So sharing ideas, it's what our country used to do. And before this wave of selfishness came in 2016 at the highest level.
Yeah.
As a state representative, if it can be a part of it and just part of helping spread the word and spread the ideas and also learning ideas from other states, it just keeps this evolution of our country moving forward. We've got to get this poison out of the system that has been there since 2016 in that golden elevator, bringing the former president into that political sphere. And we can do that all one at a time, little things, working together with our friends and our neighbors and our family to make this a better country.
When we purge the 34-time felon, that will be a good thing for our country. You're in Chicago. What's the best thing you've eaten in Chicago so far?
I've eaten a Vienna hot dog that was just awesome.
Yeah.
They've had those at the welcome party, and it had a pickle and some relish that I don't even know what it was, but it tasted good, and I enjoyed that. And I was at the House of Blues last night,
nice.
Listening to Boys to Men after the conference.
Nice.
So it's just amazing, these amazing moments that I've tried to be posting about, just so that people can share like what we're doing here.
Yeah, Giordano's. Go to the deep dish pizza over at Giordano's, and then also if you can make it out to Superdog, that's worth the trip too. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
I've seen that. I've seen people posting that, so I got to make that happen. I got time. My train doesn't leave till 3:00 on Friday, so I got a little bit of exploring to do.
Do the onion chips. They're very good. They're very good. You'll enjoy those. All right. Representative Rick Hansen, first of all my best tonight. All my best to Governor Walz as well tomorrow night with the big finale. I hope you enjoy that. Travel safe. Thank you so very much. I really appreciate this long interview. It's been really great to get your perspective on the ground there in Chicago.
And I'll bring you back a sign.
I would really appreciate it. I would really appreciate it. I will touch base with you about when you're going to be out there, okay?
Okay, sounds good.
Representative Rick Hansen, and once again, I'll take the moment. I'll tell you what, we'll take a break. I'll come back. I'll talk a little bit about helping out his campaign, because once again, I'm going to make him Democrat of the day today. He's a friend of the show, and he's a great guy. Representative Rick Hansen joining us from Chicago. We'll take a break, come back. It's the Matt McNeil Show.